ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to extend a very warm welcome on behalf of the India Today group. You are at the 12th State of the States Conclave 2014. And just like to tell you a little bit about State of the States. It's been going on for 11 years. We've just completed, this is the 12th. And before federalism really became a buzzword, I'd be happy and privileged to say that India Today had already started and thought of the State of the States. It is really based on the premise that development of India is pretty much dependent on the development of its state. And of course, the current Prime Minister of the country is perhaps the best example of that. Well, before I take too much of your time, I'd like to call on stage Mr. Shekhar Gupta, the editorial advisor, India Today Group, for the welcome address.
Thank you, Rishika. And thank you all for being here so early in the morning. We know that this is not a city that starts working early, but now अच्छे दिन आ गए तो मोदी साहब प्राइम मिनिस्टर है, सबको सुबह सुबह काम करना पड़ता है. We also come to work early in the morning, at least once in a while, particularly when we have eminent ministers of this cabinet as our honored guests. Ravi Shankar Prasad ji, thank you very much for coming. Harish Rawat ji, Mr. Parikar, Mr. Rama Rao from Telangana, and I think many other distinguished guests who will now be joining in. Now, State of the States, many years ago, when India Today started, I looked at it with a sense of envy. I said, wow, you know, this is an idea that we should have had. These guys have thought way ahead of us. And India Today, I think, has been way ahead of the curve in figuring out this change in Indian politics, society, polity, and India's economy. And in a very short time, I found that these awards had become among the most valued and most significant awards in India. All of us look forward to the data from this to see how India was changing. And I got my little lesson in how important these awards were when a few years back, Manohar Parikar is here, we were going to go on a short vacation. And I found Manohar Parikar on the same Indigo flight. And he was carrying something with a great deal of affection and warmth. So a big something and a bag. So I said, अब क्या लेके जा रहे हैं हाथ में इतना? आपने इसको चेक नहीं कराया? Don't you have officers with you? He said, नहीं, मैं अभी India Today State of States Conclave से आया हूँ और ये मेरा award है, मैं अपना award लेके जा रहा हूँ. So he was carrying his award by himself on an Indigo flight in row 5. And I said, this is a new changing India. So this is based on data. Congratulations to all the winners. And I see some very interesting movements. I am very happy, for example, if I look at the small states, I see some of the smaller northeastern states doing much better than the past. Having spent some of my time in the Northeast, I find that very heartening. I saw some guests also from the Northeast. So, in fact, I would look forward to seeing, that's my only parochial statement today. I would look forward to seeing northeastern states doing much better on economy and governance as well, just as they are doing so much better in football now. So thank you very much. Have a wonderful day.
Thank you, Mr. Gupta. To talk more about the center-state relations and the paradigm shift that you have, in fact, talked about right now, I'd like to call on stage a man who needs absolutely no introduction whatsoever, the Union Cabinet Minister for Law and Justice, Communication and Information Technology, Mr. Ravi Shankar Prasad.
Mr. Shekhar Gupta, Shri Harish Rawat, my good friend Manohar Parikar, other distinguished ministers from other states, ladies and gentlemen. Surely this is one of the most extraordinary programs which I have been attending earlier, and today I am here as a guest. How I see the changing profile of Indian polity. I became an activist in my college life. JP movement, anti-emergency struggle, and the whole baptism there. And as I see, yes, Shekhar, you rightly talked about regional politics coming about. But if regional politics had something to do with the identity politics, in some form or the other, and what the change which has come about, in which this great initiative of India Today has played a very crucial role. And if I can say a word in Hindi, पहचान की राजनीति अब सुशासन की राजनीति से आगे बढ़ रही है. The politics of identity is maturing into the politics of good governance. And in a function like this, you recognize that aspect of various states. It is indeed very fascinating how the Indian political canvas is changing. Yes, in politics there would be differences. There will be political differences. But I would observe that of late, overpowering element of good governance is becoming party neutral. Why it is so happening? India is aspirational. I see it as a very competitive India. And the aspiration of people of India is not only driving the polity, but also creating a new canvas before political leaders that politics needs a change and we have to respond. And today, when the politics of identity is metamorphosing into the politics of governance, which means delivery of your promises, which means actual progress as proceed on the ground, then I see the rise of a very new India. And in that new India, India today has played a very crucial role. Therefore, my very warm compliments to the entire team of India today for having this State of the State Conclave. Thanks a lot.
Mr. Ravi Shankar Prasad, I'd request you, sir, to stay on stage to give away the awards for the first category of awards today. I'd also like to call on stage Mr. Shekhar Gupta, Editorial Advisor, India Today Group. Also my privilege to invite on stage Mr. Hemant Kanoria, Chairman and Managing Director of Shrey Infrastructure Finance. We'd like to begin with the first set of today's awards. The first category of awards is agriculture, and the best big state for agriculture goes to Tamil Nadu. Thank you so much, sir. Best small state in the category of agriculture goes to Puducherry. I'd like to call on stage to accept this award R. Mihir Vardhan, the Secretary of Agriculture for the state of Puducherry. Category of awards is the consumer market, and the best big state award goes to the state of Punjab. And I'd like to call on stage the resident commissioner of Punjab to accept the award. In the category of consumer market, the best small state award goes to the state of Goa. Privileged to call on stage Mr. Manohar Parrikar, the Chief Minister of Goa, to accept this award. Our next category of awards this morning is the category of education, and the best big state award goes to the state of Jammu and Kashmir. The next award is for the best small state in the category of education. The award goes to Goa. The next category of awards this morning is the category of governance, and the best big state award for governance goes to the state of Kerala. The best small state award for governance goes to Delhi. And there is absolutely no need for me to give you an explanation to tell you why there is nobody to accept the award on behalf of Delhi. Bit of a political flux at this point in time. The next category of awards, ladies and gentlemen, is the category of health. And the best big state award goes to Kerala. State Award in the category of Health goes to the state of Mizoram. I'd like to call on stage Dr. Kimi, OSD Health Mizoram, to accept the award. The next category of awards is the category of Infrastructure, and the Best Big State Award goes to Telangana. The Best Small State Award for Infrastructure goes to the state of Sikkim. The next category of awards this morning is Investment, and the Best Big State Award for Investment goes to the state of Uttarakhand. Mr. Harish Rawat, Chief Minister of Uttarakhand, so privileged to have you here. The Best Small State Award in the category of Investment goes to the state of Goa. The next category, the last category of this section of the awards, is for macroeconomy, and the Best Big State Award goes once again to the state of Uttarakhand. And the Best Small State Award for the category of macroeconomy goes to the state of Goa. Mr. Manohar Parkar, Chief Minister of Goa, so privileged to have you with us. Gentlemen, thank you so much for doing the honors. So it's been a privilege having you here. To give away the final awards for the best overall states, it's my privilege to call on stage Mr. Venkaiah Naidu, the Union Minister for Urban Development, Housing and Urban Poverty Alleviation and Parliamentary Affairs. To join Mr. Venkaiah Naidu on stage, I'd like to call on stage Shekhar Gupta, Editorial Advisor, India Today Group. Also my privilege to call on stage Mr. Sunil Kanoria, the Vice Chairman of Shrey Infrastructure Finance Limited. The Best Big State overall, the award goes to the state of Tamil Nadu. I'd like to call on stage S.S. Krishnamurthy, the Minister of Agriculture for the state of Tamil Nadu, to collect the award. And the Best Small State Award goes to the state of Goa. Heartiest congratulations to all our winners today. Gentlemen, I'd request you to stay on stage for the unveiling of the State of the States Report 2014.
me great pleasure to invite on stage Harish Rawat ji, the Chief Minister of Uttarakhand. Congratulations on the awards that you've received, Mr. Rawat. Let me also invite on stage young K.T. Rama Rao, the young Minister for Information Technology and Panchayat of the youngest state of India, Telangana. Mr. Venkaiah Naidu, may I please request you to come on stage, sir? The issue is, sometimes the states complain, as has been the case in the past, that through central schemes, whether it's Narega or other such schemes, the center, because it gives the money, it dictates the terms. And as Jairam Ramesh said, that Narega ended up being a ditch-digging exercise. So how can something like that be prevented in future?
See, we must keep in mind, we are a federal country. Without states, there is no center. Without center, there are no states. It is not possible to keep all the country together. So the Prime Minister said that we must have cooperative federalism. And our government believes in this concept. The center must involve the states to be partners in preparation of the development agenda. And at the same time, the center has got a onerous responsibility of seeing that the money that is given is properly spent or not. The reason being, tomorrow if something goes wrong somewhere in parliament, you are hauled up.
Harish ji, is interstate council the way forward?
ये तो एक इंस्टीट्यूशन है ही है. उसके अलावा प्लानिंग कमीशन also used to be a forum for this purpose, जहां हम बातचीत कर लेते थे. एनडीसी में भी बातचीत होती थी, मगर आज जब प्लानिंग कमीशन नहीं है तो मैं समझता हूँ अब राज्यों के साथ बेटर इंटरेक्शन के लिए कोई न कोई मैकेनिज्म, कोई फोरम डेवलप किया जाना चाहिए. आज एज ए स्टेट मैं ये नहीं जानता हूँ कि मेरा इस साल का प्लान आउटले क्या होगा, अगले साल के क्या मेरे प्लान आउटलेज होंगे, किस तरीके से मुझे मूव करना है. कोई प्रॉपर मैकेनिज्म के अभाव में जो एक इंस्टीट्यूशनल डेवलपमेंट होता है, वो इंस्टीट्यूशनल डेवलपमेंट जो है हैम्पर न हो जाए, ये एप्रीहेंशन, ये डर हमारे मन में है.
Ram, do you have the same issue in a young state that the planning commission has been wound up, whether it be the National Development Council or whether it's going to be the interstate council?
I think we all have to work as a team, and absolutely the buzzword and the key word here is cooperative federalism. That's the spirit with which India has to move on, and as Team India, if we have to work, the center has to understand that the stronger you empower a state, the stronger this country is bound to be. So ultimately the center has to let the states prioritize in terms of, because we are more in touch with the ground realities, we are more in touch with the nuances, with the aspirations of the people. So the center has to give us that much more freedom in terms of aligning the various schemes of the center or the state to be in line with the expectations of the people. Ideally, we would request the center to create a level playing field, and if they would want to use National Development Council or Planning Commission or Interstate Council, whatever the mechanism they choose, the ultimate demand remains that we need to be heard, we need to be given a role in prioritizing. I must compliment Venkaiah ji for one thing. He met our Honorable Chief Minister. Our Honorable Chief Minister was talking about urban poor housing scheme, and he requested Venkaiah ji to actually work with our state's project as well, so that we can work in tandem and actually contribute towards that scheme, and he positively responded. So that's the sort of dialogue, that's the sort of statesmanship that is required, cutting across political affiliations and cutting across party identities.
Venkaiah ji, is this your commitment that there will be no discrimination based on who rules the state? It's states are powerful, the center is powerful.
मैं हरीश जी से उनका मत से सहमत हूँ. एक फोरम चाहिए, स्टेट और सेंटर बैठे आपस में चर्चा करे, एक सिस्टम बनाए, फेयरली उसको इम्प्लीमेंट करे. ये दिस इज एन आइडियल सिचुएशन, बट यू मस्ट ट्राई टू अंडरस्टैंड देयर इज अ चेंज ऑफ रिजीम आफ्टर लॉन्ग टाइम. ए न्यू रिजीम हैज टेकन ओवर. वी आर ऑफ द ओपिनियन दैट द प्लानिंग कमीशन हैज outlived its purpose, and there is a need for a new mechanism and system. We are at the advanced stage of discussion about the replacement of Planning Commission, but I do agree there is a need for a forum, whether it is National Development Council or Interstate Council or some other new body which is likely to come. there has to be a forum where the state concerns has to be understood and there has to be regular dialogue.
Many thanks for joining us and being a part of the India Today State of the States. Wish you all the best for winning the awards and wish you many more in the times to come.
Okay, thank you, India Today.